but that's what she was. She was a whore. So this bitch,
I don't
this
mind.
bitch, okay, now I'm riled up. This bitch takes the baby seat and is sitting there with a baby, and they say, ma'am, you cannot take off with a baby seat in the seat. You have to put it under the seat, whatever it was. No one was paying attention. This see you next motherfucking Tuesday wouldn't listen. So now no one knows what's going on, but eventually everyone has to now come. She wouldn't do it. So not only was this flight, we're sitting on the flight delayed 1 hour, 2 hours. Wait for it. Then they had to come, same thing. Law officials get her off the plane. Now, guess what? Guess what? We are so delayed that this staff, these prima donnas that are working it, have to time out. I know it's the law. They have to time out. The whole plane has to. We were delayed on this JetBlue flight. I kid you not, by 5 hours. I kid you not. Then we got to. Yep. I've got JetBlue is my choice airline, and I'm status on that. I have luck lately. It's like I had such bad luck in the past few flights. Whole row to myself. I do like the extra legroom, whatever. And like no, on time, nobody on the flight, 3 people on the flight. I'm like, it's made up for it. But we literally were delayed like 6 hours because this woman would not put the baby thing under the thing. I'm like, you are a fucking whore. You're a whore with a child. Take the child away from her. Okay. There. It's been a long time since I went on a rant. Forget Housewives. You delay my JetBlue flight between New York and LA when I got things to do. I'm pissed.
Doesn't bother me.
It doesn't bother me. Doesn't bother you that I ran. Okay. We gotta talk about Tamra Judge. That reunion. She told Andy to go fuck himself. We never talked about this.
I love Andy Cohen. Andy Cohen. That man, how many housewives have told him to fuck himself? And he sits there and he looks a little appalled, but he doesn't even flinch. And do you think that she's going to be fired for that? I don't feel like it doesn't matter.
No, I thought it was, first of all, you do love Andy Cohen. Lots of people recently came for you. You were defending Andy on something. A lot of people are over Andy. But you have a right to love him. No, I do not think, look, I think that it's disrespectful to tell your boss to go fuck himself. But no, this is what, again, Andy loves the Countess. She was fired. Andy loves Ramona. She was fired. He loves Lisa Rinna, believe it or not. And she's fired. No, it has nothing to do with it. Andy will do what is best for the show. I stand by my prediction that every single person that was just on RHOC, and there was some controversy in like a 2-part reunion and Tamra defended. I think everyone who was on RHOC will be back next season. I think the entire cast is coming back. The only caveat is I don't know. Let's give it a minute. Let's delay it. If Shannon, see how this outpatient program goes. I could see them getting rid of Shannon, but the longer it goes and the more she's behaving herself, they'll bring Shannon back. I think everyone's coming back. No, Tamra's not going to get fired for telling him to fuck off. Nope.
Just to set the scene for everybody listening who doesn't know this, and part 2, Tamra sat there and she and Andy got into that over the 3-year pause that Tamra was put on when she was off RHOC. Talked shit basically about all the cast members that were up there, called them all losers. And Andy kept trying to hold her feet to the fire. And then she turned it back and was like, fuck you. This has nothing to do with like me calling them losers on my podcast or something. Why are you bringing
Well, because the discussion was that Heather Dubrow called everybody losers.
There you go. And
Andy was like, why are you taking this out on Heather, Tamra? Didn't you spend 3 years you were off the show calling Emily and Gina and everyone on the show losers? And she's like, exactly. That's not the point we're trying to make now. And Andy's like, isn't it the exact same thing? And she's like, basically, fuck you.
Shut the fuck up. So I don't think so either. And it'll be interesting to see if Shannon gets a pause or not. Shannon apparently is getting out treatment program. Do you believe this? Getting therapy. It's a wellness therapy with a component of talking about sobriety. Do we think this means anything?
No, I think if you really look, if you are truly an alcoholic, it is, you listen to people like Lala and people that have been through the program, they tell you it is so. Bronwyn is a very good friend of mine. I don't know if everyone knows this. I speak to Bronwyn all the time. You know, it's a constant check-in and struggle, which I can understand, especially in certain lifestyles. So, and I don't mean gay. I mean, the entertainment business and, you know, being around people that are out all the time. So it's a really hard thing. So if Shannon really needs help, I don't even think a program is so. It's a really hard thing to be. You really have to want it. So who am I to judge, because I'm not an alcoholic? But I mean, I don't think that just therapy and a program that might also involve talking about it is going to help if she truly needs help. No, I don't think so.
What do you make of Vicki? Vicki spoke out for the first time because after the DUI, you know, Shannon stayed with her because Vicki's in a gated community where press can't get in. But Vicki essentially says that Shannon is an Uber woman, that Shannon's mortified. She's taking complete responsibility. Shannon never drinks and drives. But that night, she left her phone at a restaurant. She didn't have her phone. She didn't have a way to call an Uber. You're rolling your eyes. Didn't have a way to call an Uber, had too many clearly with friends, and thought she could just drive back to the restaurant or something and try to see if she could get her phone or try to drive home. Are you believing any of this? And I can't remember if they asked Vicki if Vicki thought she had a drinking problem, but I know Vicki reiterated that she's seeking treatment and outpatient treatment or whatever. But a lot of people have said they don't think she's an alcoholic. So I mean, you know, I gave my 2 cents last time.
Listen, again, what do I know? From where I'm sitting and observing, the alcoholics of Bravo that come to my mind, I mean, Sonia Morgan is my number one that I've observed in person. And I believe Sonia is truly, and I'm not saying that with shade, shame, anything. I believe that she is saddened by the life that she had as a Morgan with hundreds of millions of dollars, and she cannot get over the fact that that life is over. I am not shading her. I am not looking down upon her. My armchair psychology assessment of Sonia Morgan is that she is a true alcoholic and needs help. Do I feel that way about Shannon? I'm less convinced. I'm not picking on Sonia. She's the number one that I know in life that's the person I go to. There are others. Yeah, I mean, Shannon's up there, but I'm not, I don't know if she is. Look, take away my wallet, I'm freaking out. Take away my phone, I would literally be, I couldn't exist. So if ever there was, I understand the thought process is all I'm saying of like, what am I going to do? Like, okay, this is not the same thing. I don't drive, but in the Hamptons, there's no cell towers. There's just no cell towers. We will never have cell towers in the Hamptons. So I have gone to parties in the